Thank you very much, Officer Gagne. We're so pleased and proud that you have joined us to enjoy this wonderful play written by Deborah Washington. I'd like you to sit back, relax, and enjoy Emancipation Denied.
They were the children of slaves, and in some cases had been born into slavery themselves. Many recall the dreary days following the Civil War when 4 million Negroes were emancipated with no skills or education to help guide them in their new freedom. During the decades after the war, thousands of freedmen were stuck working as sharecroppers or as tenants for their former owners for pitiful wages or no wages at all, and in most cases, earning a standard of living just above slavery itself. Federal assistance and government policies developed during the Reconstruction that were designed to assist Blacks during this transition period were short-lived and evaporated within a decade after the Civil War. But as the years passed, something changed. The change occurred in the hearts and minds of former slaves and their descendants. Even though Jim Crow laws and embittered members of the KKK rained death and terror on the Negroes. Led by the vision of Edwin McCabe, founder of the first Black community of Langston in 1890, the state of Oklahoma became a mecca for Black town and self-reliant community. 50 by 1920.
I hate school. But since we have to be here anyway, let me tell you a story. Last weekend, we had a party out behind Obie Man's grocery store. It was wild. Pookie was trying to show us the latest dance. He slipped and fell in the creek. He was completely wet.
Hold up. What I want to know is when you're going to get your stinky shoes out my locker.
I don't care about those stinky shoes. I'm trying to tell you about Pookie falling in the creek over behind us.
Ladies, settle down, class, settle down. So, what comes to mind when you think about a town developed by African Americans during a period when they didn't have many resources and were considered inferior and incompetent?
Nothing. Because they ain't never like that ever happened. Probably never will.
Right.
Well, now in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Tulsa, Oklahoma. Man, don't know Black people live in Tulsa.
Right.
What does this have to do with economics?
Yeah.
Black folks ain't got no money.
Mm.
Don't own much.
All right.
Except for probably a few Cadillacs.
All right. Cadillac.
As a matter of fact, I'm about to go invest in me some.
Roll. Please sit down so that we can continue the lesson. You will see how the lesson connects as we learn about the economic growth of a town.
Man, I'm out of here. This lesson has no meaning.
Oh, he hit his head.
Oh, he fell down. Is he all right?
Run, get help.
Journey with me as we learn more about one of these great communities. Tulsa's undeveloped town of Greenwood began to take shape when wealthy Black entrepreneurs and businessmen moved in and set up shop.
JD, this is one fine hotel. This is the largest Black-owned and operated hotel in America. Look at it. Trimmed in pressed brick, set on stone slabs. This hotel symbolizes the pride and affluence of Negroes.
Well, thank you, girlie. I figured Black travelers should have dazzling accommodations as dazzling as Hotel Tulsa sitting downtown for white folks. After I amassed me a splendid bank account for my other businesses and was living on the sunny side of the street,
Hey, you in the sunny side of the street.
I figured Why not erect a large hotel in Tulsa? Answer the race to the state of Oklahoma.
Well, you have outdone yourself with this one. This hotel adds credence to Booker T. Washington's description of this district as Black Wall Street.
Yeah, that's what he said. And on opening night 2 months ago, man, the bright lights was flashing and the jazz music was pounding and the guest was doing a fantastic show. Hey, did AJ say when he
Good morning, gentlemen. Stop in to see the view. It looks very nice. Hopefully one day I can own a hotel.
Good morning,
Good
man.
morning.
Uh,
If you stay in school, ain't that right?
yeah, get yourself educated. You can have whatever you desire. What's your name?
Big rolling, sir. Understand?
Oh, yes, I know the Forge very well.
Hello, J-Man. Dick, come on, join us up, man.
Yes, you're gonna make us miss the show at the Dreamland.
I'm here talking business to Mr. Stratford, and you two are worried about a movie.
Man, Mr. Stratford don't have time to be dealing with the likes of you.
Yes, come on. You know I have to be home at a certain time.
One of these days, you two are gonna wish you had listened to me, especially when you see me driving in that new Chalmers. Thanks for the advice, Mr. Stratford. I have to run.
Yes. Well, some strange kids. By the way, did AJ say when he'd be back in town?
I believe he's supposed to be arriving sometime late morning. You know, I sure hope his investigation paid off.
Yeah, me too. We worked too hard to get what we are for white folks to come along and destroy without any repercussions. The town of Greenwood has come a long way since those early days of those large tracts of undeveloped land.
Yeah, my main reason for coming to the territory was opportunity. And I must say that I was impressed with the ideas and vision of Edwin McCabe in building Black towns and self-reliant Black communities.
Yeah.
After resigning from my presidential appointment under President Grover Cleveland, I decided to strike out on my own and head west. Just being able to get away from the oppressed conditions in the southern states was reason enough for me.
I hear you, Curly. You know, when I heard about opportunities for blacks and about McCabe founding the first Black community of Langston, I figured it was worth a try. You see, I was born into slavery in Versailles, Kentucky in 1861. Father Julius Caesar, you know, most folks call him JC, set an example that defines and strengthened me from birth. He named me John the Baptist. I go by JB for the same reason most blacks during that time. You know, the single letters precluded the white folks from addressing me by my first name.
That is surely true. JB, such informality was considered disrespectful. Some Black parents even named their children Mr. or Colonel to ensure they would always have a title of respect. My brother was named General Gurley by his father.
Yeah, they always found a way. You know, my father learned to read and write from Master's daughter. He then forged the Master's name on the pass and fled from the plantation. You know, that pass got him all the way to the Stratford, Ontario. And once there, took the variation of the name for his own, and that's how the Stratford came to be.
Nah, he didn't, JB. You mean to tell me he made it all the way to Canada?
Yes, he did. And then returned to Kentucky prior emancipation, secured some more legal documents, and declared his family free. You know, Gurley, living in slavery of any kind is inhumane, degrading, and costly. That is to the millions of lives it affects. It is a cruel institution.
Now that's the truth. And they call it the peculiar institution.
Yeah, but like my father, I wanted to be educated. I knew that education was the key that would unlock the door to my success. Now, it wasn't an easy road, but my determination and yearning to be something other than a slave made that road a little less bumpy. I graduated from Oberlin College in Ohio at the age of 38. I received my law degree from Indiana Law School in Indianapolis. And there I met Bertie, my first wife. She died after bearing me 3 sons and a daughter. And years later, I married Augusta. And after a hotel I owned in Alexandria, Indiana went under, I figured, why not move out west and start fresh? You know, girlie, when you're starting at rock bottom, the only way to go is up, because if you let yourself get any lower, you might as well dig your own grave. And that one thing that I knew and believed was that Negro's best chance of success would be by pooling our resources and working together to support one another's businesses.
I agree. And when McCabe's representatives came south on their recruiting mission to try and convince blacks to come to the Twin Territories and to populate the region, I wanted to be part of that great migration. Talk was all over the South about an all-black state. Negroes from Alabama, Arkansas, Mississippi, Louisiana, Kentucky, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Texas were attracted to the idea, and an influx of blacks into the territory began. Now, of course, some Negroes were attracted by the ideas of intermarrying with the Creeks and Seminoles and being invited into the tribes.
So they can have Indian in their family?
You got it. That's right.
Hey, whatever their reasons for coming, one thing is for sure. You know, blacks from the South were tired of being disenfranchised, intimidated, segregated, and lynched by whites who thought they were superior. And it sure feels good to have something to call our own. I'm glad we bought up all these large tracts of real estate and initiated the town of Greenwood.
Yes, indeed. The subdivisions are selling and businesses are continuing to open.
Black Tulsa has taken shape. And I'm willing to fight to the death before I let anybody come and destroy what I established.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what we feel about it.
Justice has arrived.
What you got there, AJ? Warrants issued today for burning Negro homes. When a black man named Aaron Wardlow shot and killed Dewey's police chief, Walter L. Moore, on the night of August 11, 1918, the crime aroused the white people of Dewey to such a state of anger that they proceeded to wipe out.
Wipe out? Now, that's an understatement.
Listen to this. Thanks. I
They
can't.
tried to wipe out that Negro settlement in West Dewey.
Yeah, thanks to the involvement of Tulsa Star publisher A.J. Smitherman and Oklahoma's Governor Robert B. Williams, many of the men whom warrants were served in a prominent community of 36 members of the white community, including Dewey's own mayor, were arrested and charged with race riot crimes. Finally, now hopefully they'll be held accountable for their actions.
I sure hope so. The lions and home that was destroyed in Dewey will take years to rebuild.
Exactly. That's why we need to make sure that our community stays tight. We must keep the dollar in the community and continue to trade hand in hand. So if a resident's home accidentally burned down, it can be rebuilt within a few weeks.
You know, Jim Crow laws have forced us to become dependent on one another. With the expansion of Greenwood's business district, once dollars come into Greenwood, it stays in Greenwood for as long as we can keep it. We must become a self-sufficient community.
Now, what we have done by establishing this community is proved that we as Black people can create a successful infrastructure. With all the Black-owned businesses that opened up in the community, that dollar circulates 36 to 100 times before it leaves the community. It's the businesses that are the economic engine of Greenwood, and we have to do everything we can to maintain it.
Oh, he's about to get started.
Come on, AJ. You know as well as I do, white folks ain't happy with what they see going on in Greenwood. A lot of them white folks have come back from the war and they poor. And when they look over that white picket fence and see into our community, realize that we got something better than them, that the community is flourishing, they ain't coming to congratulate us.
Hey, look, 35 blocks of Black-owned businesses, homes, churches, schools, libraries,
Restaurants, grocery stores, beauty parlors, 2 movie theaters, a hospital, bank, post office, and a bus system. Should we go on?
Oh, well, let's not forget about the law officers and our own newspaper.
Yes, sir.
But I don't think that we have to worry about what happened in Dewey, happened in Greenwood. For what reason would they have to torch people's homes?
AJ, white folks don't need no reason to destroy our property, our families, or even our lives. They do it because they feel they can.
The city even passes laws and ordinances to try to prevent us from voting.
Yeah, you were right about that. laws requiring us to travel separate coaches.
An ordinance that forbid people of either race to reside on any block where 3/4 or more of the residents are of the other race. All of which I believe are linked to Oklahoma's denial of basic rights to blacks.
And I don't know about you, but I'm sick of all of the angry rallies, published editorials, and protests that have little or no effect and seem to increase racial tension and violence.
Now that's the truth. And as a matter of fact, we will be in attendance at that next commission meeting to address some of these issues.
Here we are, successful businessmen. AJ, owner of the Star newspaper. JB, a lawyer and real estate owner. And me, a real estate owner as well. And still considered inferior because of the color of our skin. You know, and on top of everything else, we have to fight off mobs who continually try to intimidate us with lynching to prove that their race is superior. Yes, we will be at that meeting.
Gentlemen, we must remember who we are, what we're capable of. I have never felt inferior to no one, white, black, red, yellow, or otherwise. We as blacks have to suffer as much and has many shortcomings, but they haven't broken us.
Look at what we've accomplished. We built up our own town to our specifications, educated our youth.
That's right.
And what's that saying that Principal E.W. Woods is always saying? What's that? Oh, yeah, here it is. You're as good as 99% of the people and better than the rest.
Good day, gentlemen. I was just out for my afternoon walking meditation and happened to notice you in here. Sure is a beautiful day today.
Good morning, Reverend.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, Rev, how was that construction on the church coming along?
I'm happy to report that the construction is going well and on schedule to be completed in 3 years. April of 1921 to be exact.
Okay.
I thank God for how he worked out our financial situation, and getting that unsecured loan from a private donor was a blessing. Imagine that this day and age.
Yes, sir.
He always looks out for his children.
Yes, he does. You know, I consider Mount Zion the church that faith built.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Although we had to endure a lot over the years, but it was faith that kept us grounded. Well, I'm going to continue on my walk. You gentlemen have a good day.
Yes, sir.
And I hope to see you in the service on Sunday.
Yes, Reverend.
Hey, Reverend.
That's a fine example of kind of stand on and resistance that is ingrained in us. We have to stick together and keep fighting with our minds. We have to advocate for ourselves and break away from the injustice that attempts to dehumanize us.
Fellas, we need to get over to the town of Bristol to prevent the lynching of a black prisoner.
Oh.
An armed group of black farmers have rallied together, but they need our support.
Oh, here we go again. I declare the day a member of our group is mobbed in Tulsa, these streets will be bathed in blood.
JB, let's go to Briscoe and try to stand down the mobs of whites. By no means can we allow them to lynch that prisoner.
Oh.
Come on, we can take my
All
vehicle.
right, let's go.
Standing down mobs of whites in an attempt to stop them from lynching Negroes happened quite often in the Black community. The community was determined to prevent the lynching of Blacks, but didn't always agree about the tactics to be used. Despite all of the injustices working against them, Greenwood continued to thrive and businesses continued to grow. J.B. Stratford and others often spoke out against unfair laws and ordinances and fought for equal treatment of Blacks. Although the economy of Greenwood allowed them to be self-sufficient and provided the resources they needed, they still demanded fair treatment and refused to be deprived of their rights. Over 60% of the U.S. colored population served whites as domestic workers, restaurant cooks, boot blacks, and laborers. Wages were brought back to Greenwood and spent with Black grocers, Black lumber yards, Black theaters, and a myriad of other Black businesses. Once in the community, the dollar circulated 36 to 100 times. In other words, a single dollar might have stayed in Greenwood for almost a year. As time went on, Greenwood continued to flourish despite the laws that worked against them and the whites who sought to destroy them. Blacks remained hopeful and diligent in their efforts.
Black is service, one more time. Black is service, black is service.
Glad to be in the service one more time. 3 years later, April 4th, 1921, Mount Zion Baptist Church holds its first service at the recently built structure. Reverend R.A. Whitaker is preaching a sermon on faith.
This is the day that the Lord has made.
Yes.
Let us rejoice and be glad in it.
Come on.
Oh, didn't God do it for us?
Yes, it is.
When I look back to where we used to be, when we were put out of our building, when we were trying to figure out where we going to hold our next service.
Yes, Lord.
When nothing seemed to be going right, we got a little discouraged.
Come on.
We couldn't see no way out.
Yes.
But the God of our refuge and our strength
Yeah, come on, Pastor.
proved to be our very present help
Yes.
in our times of trouble.
Yes, Lord.
Now we were able to raise a portion of the money for this beautiful building.
Yeah.
Oh, but it wasn't
It
enough.
wasn't enough.
We kept on working.
Kept on working.
We kept on praying.
Yes, Lord.
We became weary
Mhm.
and a little more discouraged.
Come on.
We were hard pressed
Hard press.
on every side,
Yes.
but not crushed.
Not crushed.
And just when
Yes. Come on.
we wanted to throw in the towel,
Yes.
God worked it out.
Yes, it is.
That's why you can't give up on God.
Can't give up.
You got to hold on
Hold on.
and keep the faith.
Yes, Lord.
He will
Yes.
work it out.
Yes.
Keep believing.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
believe in yourself
Yes, Lord.
and believe in God.
Come on.
I'm reminded
Yeah.
of the bumblebee
Come on.
when everything seemed to tell the bee, you can't fly,
Glory.
you'll never get off the ground.
Yeah.
Your body's too heavy and your wings are too weak.
Come on, Pastor.
Sometimes our burden weighs down
Yes, it is. Yes,
and
it
the
is.
load is too heavy for our wings.
Yeah.
And flight, oh
Oh,
Lord,
Lord.
just don't seem possible.
Yeah.
Oh, but God,
God.
how many of you know we serve a mighty God?
Yes, you do.
And with God, all things are
Oh,
possible.
yeah.
I'm led to believe this evening that God whispered to the bee,
Yes, it is.
same as he spoke to you and me.
Yes.
Said, I provided you all that you need.
All that you need.
All that you need.
Yes. Woo.
Trust in yourself, oh
Yes,
Lord,
Lord.
and trust in God.
Yes.
I
Amen.
will
Yes,
trust
Lord.
in the Lord. I will trust in the Lord. I will trust in the Lord.
2 weeks later, inside the Stratford Hotel, JB and other men are discussing political issues, the rise of racial tension in Greenwood, and the success of a group of Muskogee Black men who stormed a city jail and liberated a Black man.
You know, I was thinking the other day, and that Muskogee liberation was the right thing to do.
I don't know about that, JB. I don't know.
Hey, you know, but those Republicans are something else.
Good day, gentlemen. I just stopped through and figured I'd take a load off my feet as I head to drop off groceries to one of my customers.
How you doing, OB?
How you doing, OB?
Good. You know, I was thinking about that city commission meeting we attended the other day. Do you really think they heard us? I don't know if they paid any attention to them old fellas, but I know they sat up and took notice when JB spoke.
Yeah, especially when he started talking about those Republicans.
Now, come on, fellas. You know they weren't, right? Here I am, a Republican, who worked hard in helping the white Republicans in the last campaign, and now that I've helped you get elected, you going to insult me by passing ordinances to keep us segregated?
We could just keep fighting and not give up hope.
We don't need any ordinances to segregate us. We segregated ourselves. But the difference is ordinances make segregation mandatory instead of voluntary. And these are the type of denigrations we need to continue to fight against.
Well said, JB, well said.
You know, that John McShane jailbreak the other week is the talk of the town these days.
It seems like every other day, these whites are trying to find a cause to lynch a black man. The success of that group of Muskogee black men who stormed that city jail and liberated John McShane from being lynched is justified in my eyes.
And I continue to say that we must be vigilant if a black man is in danger of being lynched.
Now, I agree with you, JB, but them boys showing up struck a chord when they shot and killed that white deputy sheriff in the process of freeing that young man.
Casualty of war.
The defiance of the folks of Greenwood has whites up in arms. Can't you feel the tension in the air?
It was justice in my eyes. Now, it's our legal right to take aggressive action towards lynching. Those men prevented the lynching, and I feel that the news should be spread throughout Greenwood.
That's right. So JB and I already drafted an article about the Muskogee event, so we can spread the news to people in Greenwood. Now, I don't know about it being legal rights in the eyes of the white man, but something radical measures needs to be taken.
But the tension in the air is causing...
AC, we gotta protect our lives, our homes, our families, our businesses, and all that we have established here in Greenwood and in other towns. We are just as competent, if not more competent than the folks who look down on us. Are we supposed to feel ashamed or worthless for the rest of our lives because someone believes we are or have tried to ingrain it in our minds? Look, we cannot be worthless or ignorant if we put a whole town together.
A city that generates more revenue in a day than most folks in the lifetime. Now, we didn't inherit our fortune, AC. We worked our fingers to the bone to have something we can call our own. To have pride and take in who we are as a people. And to live on the sunny side of the street.
Yeah, all right, you're at the sunny side of the street again.
Excuse me, I'm in search of Dr. A.C. Jackson. My wife is very ill and in need of surgery. I was sent by the Mayo brothers.
I'm Dr. Jackson.
The Mayo brothers say that you're the best there is, and I'm willing to pay whatever it costs.
Well, I can't make you any promises, but stop by my office in the morning and we can talk.
Well, thank you, sir. You gentlemen have a good day. Oh my God, let me look out this window. Because it must be a full moon. Hey, anybody want to grab a bite to eat?
I have to deliver these groceries and get back to the store before my brothers start wondering about my whereabouts.
I'm going to head back to the office. I'll talk with you later.
Hey, let's walk on down to Greenwood and see Presley's place.
That sounds good. I can stop by John Auto Shop and have him take a look at my vehicle.
Sounds like a plan to me. Let me just find my umbrella. Oh, I think I must have got it. Let's just go. You know, this sun sure is beating down on us today.
It is
I
hot.
wish I did find my umbrella. Umbrella? Why do you need an umbrella? Sun won't burn you.
Come on, JB, keep walking. He's just trying to get a response from me.
Oh, he's about to get one in a minute. As a matter of fact, the sun can't burn that skin, boy.
Come on, JB, it's not worth it.
You might want to go and deliver that ice before you be needing it for yourself.
What? You think you can put a threat on me?
JB, no.
Come on, if you kill this white man, you will be mine. Get off of him. Get off of him.
I warned him. You heard me warn him.
Jesus Christ, JB. Jesus Christ.
Needless to say, the delivery man survived. J.B. Stratford was later acquitted of charges stating he violated the Oklahoma Jim Crow laws. However, racial tensions continued to rise as whites were not happy with the affluent Black community or the wealth they had accumulated. And they were certainly not fond of and became less enchanted with the likes of J.B. Stratford. 1 month later, Thursday, May 26, 1921, the Greenwood district of Tulsa flourished in spite of segregation and Jim Crow laws. Nicknamed Black Wall Street, Greenwood had become an economic powerhouse. It housed an extraordinary business center that included banks, hotels, cafes, movie theaters, hair salons, and contemporary homes. Greenwood residents enjoyed many luxuries that their white neighbors did not, including indoor plumbing and a remarkable school system that superbly educated Black children. As a matter of fact, I'm headed over to one of those businesses right now to get a little touch up on my hair.
Girl, did you see her skirt on
Did we?
Ooh.
You know, what she needs to do is come see me.
Yes,
Baby, how is your new hairstylist working out?
Ooh, Emma, she is heaven sent. She could do magic with a high comb, girl. She'll be in a little later before it gets too busy with the ladies wanting their hair done just right for tonight.
I know it'll be busy. It's May's day off, and they all want to come and get all gussied up so they can stroll down Greenwood and just relax and enjoy themselves.
Oh, yes. Well, they deserve a little unwind time. Because after working with white folks all week, you need a little time to relax your mind to keep from killing them.
Yeah.
Lula, your theater and confectionery will be busy as well. Those young folks love your place.
Yes. They sure keep us busy. But I gotta say, I like to see them enjoying themselves with all that dancing and swinging that they do.
Yes.
But I don't know where they get that energy.
Ooh, me either. But I just want them to have that same energy and enthusiasm when it comes to their schooling and church services. Yeah. But you know, ladies, that reminds me, we need to meet Tuesday to discuss expanding the role of Mount Zion in the community. We do.
Yes, and Mount Zion is a splendid structure since the completion of construction last month. It was a long time coming, but to God be the glory. There has been some show, not praising the Lord, and things going on in each service.
Yes. Praise the Lord. And Pastor Reverend Whitaker, he preached a powerful message on faith last Sunday. It was very, very inspirational. You know what? Let's meet after church next Sunday, after service, okay? And then that way we won't interfere with them young people's prom.
Right, you're right about that.
Mount Zion can be a lot of influence in the community.
All right, Emma, you're all set, girl.
Oh, Emma, that looks good on you. Now, when you get home, don't you start bothering the mister.
Morning, ladies. I was on my way downtown to shine some shoes. Just wanted to stop in and say hello.
Well, if it ain't Dick Rowland. And what about your schooling, Dick? You're missing out on much needed instruction, young man.
Miss Little, I ain't missing out on much. I plan on being a business owner just like you all, so I can wear all the fine and fancy things I want.
Boy, have you lost your mind? Even business owners need an education, and that's not a good reason for starting a business. You're in high school now, and you need to be more responsible.
Yes.
All right, Miss Little. Thanks for the advice.
Well, how's your aunt doing, Dick?
She's doing fine.
You are still helping her out in the store, aren't you?
I do when I can. I'm making my own money now, so I don't have much time. Miss Stratford, I hear that the Booker T. Washington prom will happen in the Chandelier Ballroom at the Stratford Hotel next Tuesday, and that the high school band will be playing.
Well, you know an awful lot about what's going on in the school for someone who hasn't been present.
Right.
World travels fast around this time. I'll talk to you ladies later. I best get going to work.
I sure hope he had stayed in school this year. You know, he dropped out a few months last year and returned when basketball season started. Then, once football season ended this year, he dropped out again. One thing for sure, though, I best be ready for those young ladies Tuesday morning. They are excited about their prom.
Yes, they sure are. And you know what? It's the day after, it's on, the day after Memorial Day, I think. Yeah, and you know, there's been a lot of chatting down in the confectionery about who's courting who and who is taking who to the prom.
Oh, I see. Yes, these young folks are excited about their prom.
Yes.
But for tonight, May's day off, I am but tight with all these ladies wanting their hairdos just right for tonight. Well, ladies, I only have a few minutes to get a bite to eat with you. And before my big rush happens and my new stylist arrives, I'm so excited.
How about we go down to you and Presley's restaurant and get something to eat?
Now, you know what? That sounds fine to me. I'm sure Presley done cooked up some of his signature smothered steak with rice and brown gravy. Come on, let's go, because we're ready to eat. Come on.
Can't wait to get that gravy.
Yes.
Thursday was considered May's day off. Domestic workers dressed in their fanciest clothes and prepared to stroll down the two-block section of Greenwood Avenue. The maids and the chauffeurs, the gardeners and the men promenaded around for hours, moving in and out of restaurants, jazz joints, and pool halls, and strolling past jewelry stores, fine hotels, barbershops, skating rinks, all owned and run by blacks. The delightful aroma of fried chicken, barbecue ribs, and collard greens filled the air, mixing with notes of jazz and blues that poured into the streets. Thursday nights were filled with excitement, walking and flirting and courting, spending money, and then walking some more. Although, on occasions, some young men fought as the moonshine settled in, but by far, those nights were happy times for blacks. Sunday morning, May 29th, 1921. Church service at Mount Zion Baptist Church continues to be uplifting.
The Lord invites us to call on him, all you who are weary and carrying heavy burdens,
Yeah, Pastor.
and I will give you rest.
Mm.
Take my yoke upon you and learn from me.
Yeah.
Learning to lean on him
Yes.
and to depend and rest and rely on him. In every situation is crucial in your spiritual journey. God bless you and God be with you until we meet again. But in the meantime, keep leaning on the everlasting arm. And enjoy your Memorial Day holiday tomorrow. And God bless you. Leaning, leaning, leaning on the everlasting arm.
Ooh, good evening, ladies. So glad you can make it this evening. Ooh, but didn't Pastor preach a good word this morning? Ooh. Now, I don't want to hold you too long. I know folks are preparing for tomorrow's holiday or relaxing.
I wish I could relax. I'll be at the hotel preparing for tomorrow for high school prom.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, and that reminds me, Pastor wants us to adjust our focus and see how the church can help some of our young high school students, the ones who seem like they no longer want to get an education.
Or that they need more support in various coursework.
Yes, you know, I'm a bit concerned about Dick Rowland, who's altogether just dropped out of school and trying to make a living shining shoes.
Oh, wow. Well, you know, he's just one of quite a few. Maybe we should start with a tutoring program to offer support to some of those who just aren't making a grade.
Yes, yes. I'm sure Mr. Woods would be willing to give us a list of students who could use the extra support. We could then visit homes and get some groups started.
Yeah.
Yes, good idea. And you know, I'll make an appointment with Mr. Woods and for next week, and we can just go from there.
That sounds great. What's next on the agenda?
We will begin with our outreach program this Wednesday for the sick and shut-in. Tuesday, I will provide you with a list of homes scheduled to be visited with names of each person to visit the home.
Now, we will continue to provide food and clothing for those in need, correct?
Yes, yes. So ladies, please remember to share information about donations for the food and the clothing drive.
Well, that's all I have on the agenda for today, ladies. Anyone else have anything they want to share or add?
No, I have to head home and get my rest, because I'll be pretty busy tomorrow. Now, just in case any of you have any spare time on your hands, come on by the hotel and help me set up for the prom.
All right. So you know what? I want you ladies to enjoy your Memorial Day.
All right.
Yes.
All right. All right, ladies.
We'll see you later.
Thanks for coming.
Monday morning, May 30th, 1921, Memorial Day. Patriotic music can be heard coming from the downtown district of Tulsa. While families lined Main Street to see the large Memorial Day parade march by and American flags waved, patriots proudly wore their red, white, and blue outfits. The residents of the town of Greenwood prepared for their own celebration to honor those who died during the Civil War. We are in the Stratford Hotel with Dick Rowland and J.B. Stratford.
Good morning, Mr. Stratford.
Good morning.
Happy Memorial Day. Just stopped by to admire this fine establishment and shield myself from the heavy rains out there. Got me thinking, I need to go out and build myself a nut.
Well, maybe so. But the rain sure haven't deterred people from heading downtown to see the parade. But I'm sure it'll clear up soon and temperature will spike to a humid 90 degrees. So, I hear you're not returning to school?
Yeah, I'm making good money shining shoes down at the pool hall on 3rd and Main. Shoe shines cost a dime, but the tips earn me enough money to buy this diamond ring.
I see.
Sporting this diamond ring has earned me the nickname Diamond Dick.
I've heard.
Well, I have to get to work. After all this rain, there'll be shoes to be shined and money to be made. Stop by sometime. I'll give you a free shine.
I'll do that.
Morning, JB.
Morning,
Good
Doc.
morning, good morning.
Morning, Rev.
Good morning.
Hey, Doc, how did that surgery go?
It was very successful. She's going to be just fine.
It just blesses my heart to know that out of all the doctors and surgeons they could have chosen, he selected you. Who would ever thought that a Negro doctor would be actually perform surgery on a white woman? Now imagine that this day and age. AC, you have transcended the color line. You know, the Mayo brothers consider you to be the most able black surgeon in America. Were you nervous?
Nah, I'm just willing to help anyone who is sick and in need. I believe that's the way God intended for it to be, being of service to others.
Maybe you're right. So you gentlemen headed downtown to the parade?
Oh, no, sir. Too many people and too much movement for me. This is a day of relaxation for me. Plus, the rain has stopped and that sun is moving in. It's getting ready to heat up out there. I'm going to head on out before the sun gets too hot.
Well, enjoy your day. I'm going to be here waiting for Augusta. She'll be down here shortly to finish preparing the ballroom for the Booker T. Washington High School prom.
Oh, yeah, that's happening tomorrow night.
That's just wonderful. Oh, to be young again.
Hey, I am young. I can hang with the best of them.
And on that note, I'm gonna head on out.
Hey, Rev, how's John's auto business coming along?
Everything is just fine. You know, he's been having a lot of white folks come by with their vehicles, wanting him to look at their engine, change oil and change the parts. Imagine that, this day and age.
Yeah, I heard. You know, them white folks sure know how to humble themselves when they need something from you.
Yes, indeed. Had one fella stop by and address John as Mr. Williams. You know, he had to look twice to make sure he didn't see some color in that man's face. Can you imagine that?
Ain't that something? Hey, what about that 3-story building he built? Well, what's he doing with that 3rd floor?
Well, you know, he's renting the 3rd floor out to various attorneys. He and his family reside on the 2nd floor, you know. And now that confectionery that's on the ground floor has become the heart of Greenwood social life.
Yes, it has. You know, I saw the ad in Tulsa Star. The Williams Confectionery, headquarters for sweets as well as ice cream, cold drinks, cigars, tobacco, and fresh butter every day.
Yeah, JB. You know, he's come a long way since he left Mississippi. And we thank God for his blessing.
Yes, indeed. You know, Augusta and I gonna have to catch a show at the Dreamland Theater they've built as well. Is he still running 2 shows a night?
Yes, he is. You know he's gonna have a Charlie Chaplin film with a live band passing through there soon. You be sure and bring Augusta here.
I sure will.
Meanwhile, at the shoe shine stand, Dick Rowland and Robert Fairchild finishes shining the shoes of their white client and discusses Dick's future. Neither could have anticipated the dreadful future lurking nearby.
Thank you. Come again. So, what's your plan for the future? Since you won't be going back to school anymore.
Thank you. Have a good day, sir. You know I always got a plan. There's a lot of money to be made out here. I plan on saving enough money to start my own business. Maybe a grocery store like O.B. Man, or a bus charter like Dr. Simon Berry. I mean, I make pretty good money shining shoes, but I don't plan on doing this for the rest of my life. I'm too sharp a dresser for that. I'm gonna run and pick up a pair of shoes and use the bathroom in the Drexel building. We'll finish this conversation when I get back.
All right. Now, let me get these shoes signed up. Got me a date. Can't be late. Now we did. What's going on? Where are you going to?
Later that evening, we join Augusta, JB, and Smitherman at the Stratford Hotel.
Jimmy, I saw Davy's son Dick running down the street like he was running for his life. I hope everything is all right.
Oh, I'm sure it is. He probably just forgot something for his shoe shine business. He's a good kid. Smooth talker, but a good kid.
Probably right.
Well, I'm going to go down in the chandelier room and put some finishing touches on things so that we're all set for the prom tomorrow night.
Okay.
JB, trouble might be brewing.
What kind of trouble, AJ?
There's talk that Diamond Dick tried to sexually assault a white girl in the elevator of the Drexel building early today.
In broad daylight? That's bull. Only a black man with a death wish would try to rape or attack a white girl in broad daylight. Has he been arrested?
No arrest. Yeah.
Well, it must have not been too serious.
What's wrong?
Good evening to you, Ms. Augusta.
Good evening. Good evening.
Nothing, honey. Just tired and discussing some business with AJ.
Well, you two can finish this meeting in the morning. Let's head home for some dinner.
Tuesday, May 31st, 1921. Booker T. Washington High School students busily prepared their wardrobes and hair for the prom. Yet, none of them could imagine the event that would change their lives and cancel their prom. We see Robert Fairchild and Bernice Sims talking about Dick's arrest.
I picked up my suit for the prom tonight and over some talk about Diamond Gambit this morning.
I heard about that. People are talking about he tried to rape a white girl.
1 minute we're shining shoes and talking about our future. He went to pick up a pair of shoes, and next thing I knew, he was high-tailing past me like his one for his life. I don't know what could have happened. What I do know is that he didn't do what they say. I just can't believe it. Hope everything works out.
I'm sure it will. Hey, are you still singing at the prom?
Of course. As a matter of fact, I'll be rehearsing at theater shortly.
Come on, let's go grab a Coke at the confectionery before heading to the theater.
Meanwhile, at the Stratford Hotel, A.J. Smitherman and O.W. Gurley enter and hands J.B. a newspaper.
Report the afternoon edition of the Tulsa Tribune as announced on the front page.
What you got there, AJ? Nabbed Negro for attacking girl in elevator. A Negro delivery boy who gave his name to the public as Diamond Dick, but was identified as Dick Rowland, was arrested on South Greenwood this morning by officers Carmile and Pack, charged with attempting to assault a 17-year-old white elevator girl in the Drexel building yesterday. He will be tried in municipal court this afternoon on a state charge. Oh my God. Now I see it. They found a way, girlie. They found a way. Look at the Tribune is doing. It's transforming a dubious, far-fetched elevator encounter into a racist saga that's guaranteed to send an electric charge throughout Tulsa.
This is serious, JB. I mean, the girl is saying she noticed Dick a few minutes before the attempted assault, looking up and down the hallway as if to see if there was anyone in sight. And then a few minutes later, he entered the elevator and attacked her, scratching her hands and face and tearing her clothes. You know, it's fabricated stories like this that are inflammatory enough to cause a small spark to blossom into a raging fire.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, some man ain't right about this whole thing. That was just a cover-up orchestrated by the city elite to accomplish whatever hidden agenda they have expired.
Look, there's talk that a white lynch mob is going to take matters into their own hands and kill Dick Rowland.
We can't let that happen. There's a group of armed white men congregating outside the jail, and some younger militant black men have joined the crowd in order to protect Dick Rowland.
Oh my God, let's go. I'm going down to the courthouse and speak to Sheriff McCullough myself and let him know that he cannot allow this young man to be lynched.
We'll go with you.
Oh, I'm going to head over to the church and inform my wife and the rest of the women, let them know to get home.
At the courthouse steps, Sheriff McCullough, Gurley, Obie Man, and mobs of whites and blacks have congregated.
We hear there's supposed to be a lynching tonight.
Girlie, there won't be any lynching as long as I'm sheriff. If you keep your folks away, there won't be any, keep your folks away from here, there won't be any trouble.
I can assure you that they'll stay away. Now listen, fellas, we need to let the sheriff handle this. Getting all riled up is not going to help the situation. So please return to your homes. Dick Rowland is safe.
Are you sure about this, girlie?
Yes, yes. Please return to Greenwood. Dick Rowland will be fine.
All right.
Come on, let's go. He'll be fine.
All right.
Back at the Stratford Hotel, JB and A.J. Smitherman are speaking to a crowd of men.
I'm not surprised that whites might try to mention a member of our race because of their bitter feelings against our group. I said it before, and I'll say it again. The day a member of our group is mobbed in Tulsa, these streets will be bathed in blood. And if I can't get anyone to go with me, I will go single-handed and empty my automatic into that mob and resign myself to that fate.
Yeah, JB.
Now, I know that you're anxious and upset, but gentlemen, I insist you only go to the courthouse only if you know for sure that Dick Rowland's life is in jeopardy or if the sheriff calls for your help. Be sober and wait until the sheriff calls for us. Please wait until the sheriff calls for us.
We retaliate against oppression if we don't start trouble. We don't want things to spiral out of control.
There's no report that White Side stormed the courthouse.
Men, listen to me. Please remain sober. Wait until the sheriff calls for us.
KB, we have to stop them men from going up there.
AJ, I ain't going back up there unless the sheriff calls for me.
Hey, what happened? Where's everyone going?
Someone announced that the whites had stormed the courthouse.
That's not true. I just left there.
You guys better prepare yourselves.
At the courthouse, Sheriff McCullough stands at the top of the step as black men approaches and the rioters become more agitated.
I'm the sheriff of Tulsa County. Now you men listen to me. Go home before a lot of people get spoiled. There's no business coming up here and parade around with guns like that. If you're law-abiding people, you'll go home before real trouble starts. We'll go home when we get that Negro boy you want to lynch.
That's right. We ain't going anywhere without him.
No one is going to be lynched here. Not going to be a charge against the young man. The white girl has admitted he did not harm her. So she said she was nervous and scared, so she screamed when he grabbed her arm. That's all there is to the case. She's a very nervous person, but she's not going to press charges because no harm was done. So go home now. I'll give you my word, the Negro will be released in the morning. If there is no charge, why don't you turn him over to us now? I can't release him tonight. It isn't possible.
Why not?
Because he's telling a lie. If we leave him here, he's a goner. They'll hang him high as judgment day. Listen to me. No one is going to hang anybody from this jail. But I can't turn him over to you tonight. Only a judge can do that in the morning. We can't give in to lawlessness. So go home before trouble starts. Parading around with these guns is against the law. Violence is easy to start, but hard to stop. Look up at them windows. See them gun barrels pointed at you? They will cut down the first person that makes a move to take this courthouse over. Now go home before a lot of people get shot.
You have to tell the truth. Come on, B. That means right. Let's head on back.
Let's go. Better be telling the truth.
As the blacks start to back off, a white man approaches OB man, who is carrying a revolver.
Nigger, what are you doing with that pistol? I'm gonna use it if I need to. No, you give it to me. Like hell I will. Negroes are trying to take over the city. They came looking for trouble by coming into town with guns and trying to take over. They started the trouble, but we were right to finish. So they will never forget this night.
As the Negroes of Tulsa and other Oklahoma cities fought to pursue their God-given rights and the federal Constitution's guarantee of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, they encountered those who sought to maintain the way America operated, thus denying them emancipation from an established system that long ago excluded them. Resentful, unprogressive whites were willing to destroy one of America's most thriving, bustling, and wealthy Negro towns to ensure that business in Greenwood abided by the established American system. No one knows if the gunshot was accidental or if it was a warning shot. At any rate, it was the catalyst that set the riot in motion. The riot continued into the following day. Wednesday, June 1st, 1921, Dr. A.C. Jackson opens his front door and walks out his house with his hands raised in an effort to surrender. A group of menacing whites approaches him.
Here I am. I'm willing to go with you to the convention hall.
Hey, that's Dr. Jackson. Don't hurt him. He is a respected doctor in the community.
Why don't you escort him to safety? Now let's go burn down that new church.
Bernice Sims and her moms are startled by the rioting and the mob and urgently make plans to leave.
Denise, come on, we have to go. The white people are killing the colored folk.
Huh? What happened?
Come on, we have to get out of here.
Wait, I have to get my dress.
Leave it, come on, girl, we have to go.
Blacks were met on all sides with machine guns and other deadly weapons. They attempted to escape, but to no avail. They were killed in large numbers as they tried to flee to safety. Whites looted and burned homes and businesses. They backed large trucks up to homes and businesses and removed everything of value. Furniture, large pianos, expensive paintings, even the silverware. They removed personal items found on persons, money, jewelry, watches. And the Mount Zion Baptist Church, which had only been standing for 58 days, was burned to the ground. The Stratford Hotel became a refuge for Black families. We are inside the Stratford Hotel.
Look out there. Look what's happening out there. They are lining the people up. Oh my gosh. With their hands raised above their heads, slowly herding them out of Greenwood like cattle. This is worse than an exodus.
JB, I'm gonna leave you. If we get trapped here, we'll be killed. If we leave now, maybe we have a chance for our lives.
Oh, Papa, can't we go too?
I intend to protect my hotel. If you want to go with the crowd, then go.
JB, the state militia promised to protect your hotel in exchange for your surrender.
Am I to believe that? Look what they have done. They have systematically shut down everything. They burned every car. They burned every home, house by house and block by block. The telephone lines have been cut. The telegraph lines have been cut. They even blocked the railroad leading into Greenwood. We have no way to communicate. And you expect me to believe that they're going to protect my hotel?
JB, we have to believe in someone. JB, come on. Let me take you to a place of safety. It's not safe for you to be here.
If you can guarantee my hotel will not be burnt, I'll go with you.
The state militia promised you your hotel will not be burned. You use it as a refuge.
Where are we headed?
To the convention hall, where all the other Negroes are being housed.
To the convention hall. So they sent the National Guard to rescue the blacks? But in reality, we are further victimized and we are being led out of a district that we built, I built, with these hands, these black hands. We weren't bothering white folks. We were playing by the rules, their rules. We built our own town and we didn't infringe upon the rights and privileges of whites. But they found a way. They found a way. You know, I sure wouldn't mind being Dick Rowland right now. He's the safest black man in Tulsa right now.
Greenwood was permanently altered. The city was changed forever. Nearly 50 square blocks have been burned to the ground. In less than 24 hours, a black promised land had been turned into a smoldering wasteland by white mobs. Back at Carver High School, Roland slowly regains consciousness and shares a strange dream.
Man, Roland, you good?
Is he all right?
Roland, are you all right?
Fine, Mr. Woods. I just had the weirdest dream about being in Oklahoma and having a diamond ring. And a riot broke out, and it was horrible how this thriving black community was destroyed. I mean, black folks had money. Oh, are we gonna learn about that, Mr. Woods?
Yeah. We gonna learn
Why,
about
yes. Yes, we are. Diamond Dick. And so much more. We will learn how great African Americans used their riches to help build and shape America.
I wonder what happened to everybody.
Dr. A.C. Jackson, Sheriff McCullough, Mr. Woods,
Robin D. Brown.
Reverend R.A. Whitaker,
Wallace House Jr.
Lula Williams,
Kelly M. Briggs,
Mabel Little,
LaWanda Shipman,
Bernice Sims,
Brielle Brown.
Robert Fairchild,
Abner Hawkins.
O.W. and Emma Gurley,
Bishop James Evans.
Vanessa Ryland Buntley.
O.B. Mann,
David Shakes.
A.J. Smitherman,
Irving Murphy.
J.B. and Augusta Stratford,
Tremel Hale.
Sheila Rankin,
Dick Rowland,
Victor Nelson.
and I'm Deborah Washington, the narrator.
Somebody bow, 1, 2, 3, and.
Take a bow.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for this presentation. And we have something special for Deborah. And thank you to everyone in the North Star Players. It's a pleasure working with all of you for all these years. And we have something special for David Schiff.
Thank you, thank you.
And thank you for the community sharing this afternoon with us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.